Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Darius. Before we get started into this video, I want you guys to make sure that you guys subscribe, like this video, and comment down below what pet do you want if you could get it, and if you already have one, what is it? In my previous video, I talked about my American toad setup and talked about what was hiding in here. Now this one tried to be sneaky and decided to pop up to basically tell you guys already. Cheater. But as you can see, it's a roly-poly setup. So with that being said, we'll hop right into the video. So in here there are some roly-polies. For the substrate, I use dirt and coconut fiber, which I also use for my toad. But I use that so that they can bury in it, but it doesn't collapse when they make their burrows. I'll see if I can find a few that are hiding. Here's my much larger one. I have a few larger ones now. It's been like a few weeks since I've had them. They've grown quite big. I make sure that they have hides, so they like to hide under this bark a lot and under the pile of leaves here. But I usually kind of give them different types of food, not just dead leaves and the wood. So I make sure I give them carrots, spinach, and lettuce. You can feed them other things too, like other fruits and vegetables. I don't really like to feed them fruits because they have to require a pretty high humidity. Most fruits will mold quite fast. So you have to make sure that when you give them food, it's enough for them for just one day. Because sometimes you'll have to get rid of any food that's left over from their last feeding. But with mine, they do eat quite fast. I have about 21 in here, which is quite weird. I had thought that I had more in here, but apparently not. So that was not expected. So I might add more in here. But they do eat quite a bit. This is actually a lot smaller than what it might look like in person. It's probably only about like half an inch long of carrot. I give them like larger pieces of leafy foods because they will eat that a lot faster. And make sure also that when you're feeding them that it's washed and cleaned, so you don't get, if there is any pesticide, that it's not on it, because that will harm them. For the substrate, make sure that it's about an inch to 2 inches long. Well, no, 2 inches high, not long. That wouldn't make sense. But anyway, it needs to be about that much. That's how much I put in there. It's about like an inch and a half right now. Because I don't have that many, they don't need to worry about like space. Because they do have a lot of hiding areas, so they don't have to worry about all of that. So for the lid, I'll move this aside. I have this foil that also kind of creases, has a little holes. I mean, the lid already has holes, but I make sure that this area right here can circulate. Aerolate's not a word. It's going to be soon. I'm going to make it a word. But it needs circulation because you don't want the air to get too like dry, because it will dry out, because the substrate will dry out, so you have to spray it every day. And you have to make sure that they are actually doing alright, because sometimes if there's mold in the substrate, you have to remove all of them. And if you have babies, you have to be careful and make sure that you get all of them. Or at least, if not, just get clumps of dirt that don't have mold, just to be safe, but not all of it. So I have armadillion species, and as you can see, because they like to roll up in a ball, I guess this one was not too happy about that. So you don't want to add like more than one species in a tank, especially since it's this small, because they might fight each other, but some species will breed faster than others. and then those ones can take over the tank way faster. So you might think that having a variety is a good thing. It might be if it's a large tank, because sometimes they'll like separate to their own little areas. Yeah, this one's already trying to look for food. Come on, focus, camera. You got this. Come on. Come on, focus. You know what? We're just going to keep on going. But you want to make sure that you spray it every day. Make sure that you change their food out every day as well. They are nocturnal, so as you can see, some of them just decided to retreat because it's not really their time for them to be out right now. And also, since I lifted up the lid, they're kind of like nervous that I'm gonna like change their tank. I already changed it recently. There's one. There's two actually. Hiding away. But they are pretty docile. You can pick them up. Not too much because they will run. Because even though some of these are quite big, some of them are already an inch long. They can get slightly bigger than that. But you want to make sure that you treat them very carefully, because if you hold them too much, they might not. They can bite, because they also will eat other dead animals. Because there was like some gnats, which will also be a problem, because if gnats get in your tank, then that's a bad thing, because then they'll start to infest the place, and then they'll start breeding faster than your roly-polies. But I killed a gnat that got in the tank, and one of them went up to it and ate it. I was like, what the heck? But there was a dead centipede that I also had put in a tank, and they started like munching on it. I was like, oh no, I didn't see this one coming. But I will sometimes feed them that stuff. You can also feed them fish pellets, because they will eat that as well. But make sure that you just give them enough space, enough food, not too much, but just enough so that they can just eat it and be satisfied. Once I'm able to find a bottom to attach this to, I will put this in their tank to keep an eye on their temperature and humidity. Even though this is mostly for like crabs, but they do really well with those too, because they are related to like crustaceans. Well, they are crustaceans, but they're related more closely to like shrimps and crabs. Another thing I don't think I mentioned was that they don't breathe like us. They have gills, but they're able to breathe without being in water. Well, it's not recommended to put them in water because they're built to stay on land, but they need a good amount of humidity in order to breathe it in, since they have gills. There goes the larger one deciding to pull up and eat thought he was going to eat some of the carrot, but I guess not. Probably like, ooh, what are you doing out here? So nice to sometimes it's just nice to just watch them, because they like love to just explore the new areas. Sometimes they will it's funny when they like walk on top of each other, because they like get so like squirmish. Oh my goodness, I can't talk now. That's just great. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Also, if I should keep doing videos like this. But my next video is going to be about the Action Attack Suchomimus. I'm going to do a review on that. And I'm going to make another review after that about the Concavinator, the Dual Attack Concavinator, the first one that came out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. And also, apologies if you hear noise. It's the air vent, which really gets on my nerves because it will turn on when I don't want it to. And then there's just a bunch of birds out eating bird food. making a lot of noise. But yeah, see you guys in the next one.